Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show that asks the only question that matters. Is this movie worth the ticket price? AKA, is it worth your money? With you as always, I am your co-host Jake, sitting across the way, co-host and, editor extraordinaire, co-host extraordinaire, the only man who has been quoted in saying, if I go to prison, I would rather use my mouth than my butt. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
I dropped the soap on purpose.
And also, you're wrong. Backdoor, better than... There's so much intimacy with the face, and there's also a lot more tasting.
Yeah, and eye contact. I'm really an eye contact guy.
Yeah, because you're either looking up at eyes or you're looking for... No, you're wrong. Just bite the pillow, go around back. That's the way to go.
This is the worst opening ever. God.
You want a do-over?
Yes. No do-over.
All right, that's right. This is theater. There's no editing. We just go with it. What are we doing today? Not prison stuff.
Oh, not prison stuff.
We're talking about The Killer.
A Netflix movie.
Now, this is our first Netflix movie, is it not?
It is.
So there we go. The Killer. The 2023 Netflix film. Look at us being from the modern era, not a movie from 50 years ago.
No, just last year.
Oh,
we can't pick one in the modern year. We got to wait.
Well, yeah, but at the time of this recording, it's only been the modern year for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know if movies have come out since the new year.
I can't think of anything that's been released that I'm excited for. We'll put it that way.
All right. Written by Alexis Nolant, Luke Jacquemin, and Andrew Kevin Walker, directed by David Fincher. Also our first David Fincher movie.
Man, and then it's not going to be our last David Fincher movie.
That good or bad?
That is good.
Okay.
I love David Fincher.
The only man who loves David Fincher. No. Starring Michael Fassbender.
With his mouth.
With his mouth. I told you, backdoor.
Oh, sorry.
Backdoor is the correct answer.
Take the mud road.
I believe it's a dirt road. Starring Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender.
Master Fassbender. And Tilda Swinton. Ratings. Rating time. IMDb 6.8.
Seriously?
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes 85%.
IMDb needs to step up their game.
Well, you can only delete their app so many times.
I wonder if I delete the app enough times, the entire website goes down. Having problems reading your handwriting?
Fuck did I write? Hold on. I gotta do this the hard. Hold on.
Are you getting old? You got to take a picture of it and then zoom in on the photo?
No, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I wrote. I can't read my own writing. I was taking notes on the couch and...
Did you spill your popcorn?
No, I only do that in the theaters, thank you. Like a complete ass. I was so angry. Just seething with rage during Godzilla when I wasn't crying. Oh, no, okay, I can't read my writing. All right. Budget, it was made with an estimated $175 million.
Really?
Yep. Seems high.
Seems really high. And maybe that's just their travel budget.
Now, worldwide gross. And this is misleading because it's a Netflix film.
It was released in theaters.
Did it have a...
Yeah. Not a wide release, I think, but it was in theaters for a short while.
Well, worldwide gross of $421,000.
Oh, my God.
Just a smidge shy of what they were shooting for, I think.
Damn.
Just a little. But again, it's I don't feel like I'd sit here and be like, oh, this movie didn't make any of its money back. It was a Netflix. It's made to be streamed over and over and over, so it's, I don't know how to quantify that as you and I sit here and talk.
Yeah, because, you didn't dig deep into Netflix databank and see how many times it's been streamed. You didn't call Netflix Steve and be like, hey,
Steve.
bud.
First of all, I called Steve and he's a busy guy. All right. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. But for its limited theatrical run, it did gross $400,000 from its $175 million budget.
Man, how would one rate how much you've earned through a Netflix streaming movie?
Yeah, I don't know how to quantify that.
You can't really. Do you count new subscribers? I mean, other than how many times it's streamed,
we would have to.
But we wouldn't get that information.
We would have to know Netflix's algorithm on how they generate, like their algorithm for how much money, air quote, something on their platform makes per watch,
right.
And then see how many times it was watched. And I'm pretty sure that's not public knowledge.
Yeah, so that's what what they're shooting for is views.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that.
Yeah, that makes this part hard.
Very.
Not prison hard. Just like high school locker room hard.
Yeah.
Mind your business. Now, one award win with 26 nominations. Nothing big or major.
Okay.
Ebert.com.
Oh, good. Here we go.
3.5 stars. Detail-rich procedural about what a hitman is forced to do as his calculated world implodes.
I like that. It's spot on.
Would you like the New York Times?
Not really, no.
Because
if one's good, the other one is shit.
Yeah, they're almost always opposed, and I don't know why, but that does seem to be the
Unless
case.
It's a really great movie, and then they both hate it.
You know what? You're not wrong.
This Gladiator, there's too much gladiatoring going on.
Gladiatoring. This Gladiator movie has too much gladiatorial.
Jurassic Park has too many Jurassic era dinosaurs in it. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 Golden Pond. Blah, 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 blah. All right, New York Times. The character is boring, and so is the movie. But like the supremely skilled Fincher, who can't help but make images that hold your gaze even as your mind wanders, FASSSSbender does keep you watching. So what they're saying is we have a skilled director and a skilled lead actor who, just through their raw ability, keep us watching a boring, mind-numbing film. And that's also kind of what the whole gist of the review was.
I agree with the director part. I agree with the actor part. I'm not going to agree with the movie or the character part. Neither one of them were boring to me.
It's real to you, damn it.
It's real to me.
It's real to me, damn it. All right, what is your history with this movie?
I don't remember when I first witnessed the trailer for this, but I could have swore it was supposed to be on Apple TV. All I remember was seeing David Fincher was attached to this. And I was like, oh, I'm in. And then I seen who the actor was going to be. I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, I'm in. And then I kept thinking, I'm going to have to fucking subscribe to Apple TV. I don't want to subscribe to Apple TV. And then I never did see the trailer for probably 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Until I saw it again and it said a Netflix original. I was like, oh. And I was both excited because I had Netflix and disappointed because it's a Netflix original. I have not had good success with Netflix originals.
You have had some success with Netflix originals.
The Killer.
One.
Yeah.
Now,
so that's it.
Is it entirely possible that it was never connected to Apple TV and you're just a doofus? Is that possible?
That is entirely plausible, yes.
And that you just fabricated this Apple thing.
That is a possibility, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just,
it might have been a fever dream. Who knows?
Do you often have fever dreams about David Fincher and Michael Fassbender?
I'm having one right now.
Should I? Wait, is it
a prison movie?
It's a prison. Oh, wait. Well, I guess you don't. If they're both there, you don't really have a decision to make.
Nope. Just as hopefully they don't switch.
I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, that's the type of homoerotic content people listen for. Where's Mel Gibson at? Woo! Oh my! So,
oh, sorry. What's your history with this
my
film?
completely normal, not fantasy erotica history with this movie is I remember sitting in the living room one day and my dad runs in and he's like, "Hey, have you seen a trailer for this new movie called The Killer? It's got that guy in it, he was in like the X-Men, or he was in Alien Covenant, the robot guy." And I was like, "Michael Fassbender?" He's like, "Yeah, that's him." And he plays like a hitman, and Dad proceeds to kind of give me a synopsis of the plot as he understood it from the trailer, and I went, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "We should watch it." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And then we never actually got around to watching it. Then we drew it from the hat, and I was like, "Hey, Dad." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, let me know what you think. I watched it days ago." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
He didn't even tell you?
No!
Oh, that's
He was
awesome.
just like, "Hey, I watched it." I was like, "What?" All right.
He's watching it when you're in the other room. He's watching it like porn. When you come in the room, he stops it. He's like, "What? What? Nothing's going on here.
Get your mind out of the porn hole.
You started it."
I plead the fifth. Fifth. Pleading the fifth. All right. And then I watched it, and that's my history.
Did he watch it with you?
No. Because
he's like, "I already seen this, so I don't want to watch it."
I saw it already. Cool. This is based off a book, right?
Graphic novel.
Graphic novel.
Yes.
Same name?
Yes.
Yep. So normally I write that down, but I forgot to. We've had a lot going on. There's a lot of plates spinning right now.
Yes, we do.
Also, stay tuned for that because we've got plates spinning. They're all bad, but you'll eat it and you'll like it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I hope.
Fun. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Enduring boredom. That's what the opening of this movie teaches us.
I'm just going to say right off the bat, this movie is not anything I expected it.
I really didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay, David Fincher, he's usually not like an oddball director, but he does things his own way, and they're often against the grain of how everyone else does things. I think that's fair to say.
Oh, absolutely.
So I didn't know what to expect, but we get as the movie opens, we see Michael Fassbender's character, who's only credited as like the killer.
Yeah, he has no name.
Kind of on a stakeout. He's on a job.
He is. Yeah, he's on a job.
He's waiting for someone to come home so he can, unalive them. And but as we see his character just going through the mundane activities of waiting, being in the spot and waiting, we get the voiceover narration from Michael Fassbender in character talking about what it takes to be good at this job. Being, punctual and detail oriented and sticking to the plan, never improvise. What's he say?
His rules?
Yeah, it's you do something, don't improvise. It's
anticipate,
don't improvise.
His rules are stick to the plan, anticipate, don't improvise, trust no one, fight only the battles you're paid to fight, and never yield an advantage.
Those are solid rules to live by. But he also talks about how tough you have to be for this job. And I don't mean like Stallone, Schwarzenegger tough. I mean mental toughness. Because he talks about, he's like, you have to be okay with boredom. You have to be okay with just mind-numbing, repetitive routine. You have to be able to handle and master the mundane.
Yeah, because the majority of him, the beginning of this movie, is just him listening to music or doing yoga or just sitting in the chair next to the heater, kind of like we're doing, staring off at this apartment across the street.
Waiting for the target
to show up, and he's trying to stay awake. He'll squeeze in a quick nap with his watch, set the timer on his watch and get a quick, 5, 10, 15-minute nap or something. But
make sure no one's home, close his eyes again, if he's able to.
Yeah, and he's constantly staking out the apartment next door, watching everybody's movements, the doorman, just people coming and going, and just their daily activities. And that's it seems like 15, 20 minutes of this opening sequence. Which I don't think it was quite that long, but it felt...
It felt forever.
It did feel forever.
Which I think is what the New York Times is going on about. But I believe this is a very conscious choice by David Fincher. Yes. Giving the audience a taste of the redundancies that Michael Fassbender's character talks about. Like, we get this movie, I believe, is very carefully crafted in a way so that it reflects all the shit that Michael Fassbender's talking about. Like, it's all very it is intentionally slow. It is intentionally not boring, mundane.
Yeah, and it shows that he's been doing this for how long? Years and years and years.
Yeah.
So this is what he does all the time. And you can't say this job is boring and then automatically have a Jason Bourne montage of, slapping people around with rolled up magazines and jumping through windows.
Running and gunning.
Yeah.
And,
the typical Hollywood
It can't look like
hitman.
a John Woo film.
Yeah. It's like, no, you can't. I'm sorry. You have to show the mundane.
Yeah.
And he does. And I wasn't bored. I enjoyed listening to Michael Fassbender just explain his rules and his way of life.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
Yes.
I wasn't like edge of my seat,
no.
Right? But I wasn't bored. I was intrigued.
Same.
But we learned that he has been living in this abandoned apartment,
like an office,
whatever it was, for 5 days. He had been doing nothing but waiting for some asshole to come home for 5 days. The guy, some rich billionaire asshole, does eventually show up, and he's with an attractive woman. And it's at a certain point, with the blinds open, because you see him, because she goes to close them, he's like, nah, don't worry about that. And she is about to spank the shit out of him. They are about to do some weird stuff.
I believe she's a dominatrix.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's the right term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's into it.
Yeah. I love when Michael Fassbender's character has the...
Fassbender! Stop saying Foz!
No, Foz. It's Fozzie.
It's Fozzie? Like Fozzie Bear?
Yep.
Yes, Michael Fozzie Bear. Waka waka!
Because this movie was deliriously funny.
Whoa. It's not Raiders.
That's true.
Waka waka!
When the Foz has the sniper rifle.
I hate that joke. Everyone get your I hate that joke shirt out. Boo this man. I'm just going to get it out of the way right now. The Foz. Please continue.
So Michael has the sniper rifle set up.
Michael Fassbender is coming. He's going to kill people, Michael Fassbender. Go on. You can't win.
There's nothing I can do.
His name is Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fass.
And just say Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay.
Michael! Had that dude just look to his left, he'd just be like, who's that guy?
Yeah, who's that guy across the way? Oh. No, I like when he has the sniper rifle set up and the target almost gets in his crosshairs. And he's like, Mom, should I take the shot? And then he goes behind a wall or behind a curtain that you can't see.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, here we go. And then he's constantly checking his heartbeat.
Mm-hmm, his pulse.
On his little device and wants to get it down below
60.
60, yeah. And it builds up. The anticipation's so good. Foz was awesome in this moment.
Stop saying Foz. Also, he is the only white man that can pull off a white suit.
Oh, you mean the tan outfit?
What?
The tan pants and the tan jacket and the bucket hat.
It wasn't tan. It was white.
It was tan.
It was not tan.
It was tan.
No, he was tan.
No, it was tan.
I don't think it was.
I think it was.
I don't think it was.
Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season.
This is a listening medium. We have no way to like pull up.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. Yep, look, it was tan. I told you.
Shut up. I hope Michael and David switch on you. So, but eventually the time has come. The target's about to get his freak on. And the killer takes the shot. Except he did not anticipate the dominatrix turning with such dramatic flourish and gets in the way of the bullet. I hate it when dominatrixes get in the way of my bullets, by the way. What a pain in the ass.
Did you notice, and I didn't notice this on my first watch through, but I watched some behind the scenes stuff about this movie. Through the entire beginning portion of this, the camera is steady. It's stationary.
Fixed.
Yeah. But once he misses his shot, it all goes to handheld and starts to get a little shaky to show his frantic nature of, oh my God, I missed the shot. What the hell do I do now? And the camera is even like showing that as well.
No, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't catch that in the first watch through, and then I watched that behind the scenes thing. So I went back and I watched the beginning of it. It was kind of cool. I'm a little sad I didn't notice it the first watch through.
Yeah, you're our you're our cinematographer guy. You're always just like, did you notice this camera scene? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in myself.
Did you notice when the Earps and their girlfriends and wives lined up in the window, there was just written in the dust on the window, Maddie's a bitch. I was like, no, I didn't notice that. Yeah, it symbolizes Maddie's a bitch.
You didn't notice that? Because Wyatt was writing it in there as he's standing there. Hold on. Don't nobody move. I got to do one thing.
You're always just like, did you notice? I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, so I thought that was a cool little touch.
Yeah, that is cool. But the job is botched as he's killed some chick and not his target. And obviously guards, bodyguards come in and the guy's blocked and, a gun went off. So now he's got to get out of there. And I thought it was cool. Police are rushing to the scene and we see all the route he has prepped for his escape. And there's the scooter, and then he ditches this and that, and he ditches the scooter, and then he walks, and then he's on a subway. You know what I mean? Like, we see him ditch the disguise. We see him ditch his phone. We see him ditch parts of the gun. He changes clothes. He changes modes of transportation 2 or 3 times. So there's virtually no way to have followed him.
Right.
And I actually thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I appreciated that.
I like that the plan. He already had to escape, but he knew he had to do it quickly.
Yeah.
And then he drove by that garbage truck and he threw the bag into the back of the garbage truck.
Yeah.
And that whole montage thing was really cool. I liked that a lot.
So he gets to the airport. He's getting out of there. And he's like, man, there's this guy who's kind of obvious.
With the socks.
He's got the socks, the suit, the sunglasses. He's talking on a phone. He's just kind of conspicuous.
Very much.
And he's like, is this motherfucker followed me? So he's like, maybe not. I'm just, and he goes on, he sees the guy again. And so he has his flight delayed. So he'll take a different flight. And it's like, haha, asshole. We have no idea if I don't think that guy was anything. I think that was just a guy. But I think that is a really nice little moment of like both his general mindset, just in general, just his general mindset of like always being on guard.
Yeah, he's on high alert.
But also the frantic nature of a botched job that he's never screwed a job before.
No, never.
And so now this is kind of new territory for him. He's like, oh shit, right? So he's already always cautious, always on high alert, but now it's right, it's amped way up.
Yeah, and I like that they showed his almost untrusting nature of people.
For his line of work, you have to.
Yeah. But they didn't just say in his list, never trust no one. But they actually showed, hey, this guy doesn't trust anybody. You could be just some random asshole trying to get on your plane, get home to your family. But if he thinks you're a little shady, then he's going to do something about it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
But also, like, he's not like an action movie going to do something about it.
No, he's not gonna, smart. He's just smart.
He's not going to, like, follow the guy to the bathroom and then kill him and, like, leave him sitting on the john and, they'll find him later, but that's someone else's. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
break
like,
his neck and...
Yeah, like, hide the body in a trash can.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's like, well, I'm just going to give someone my seat and take a later flight.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah, like a person would do.
Yeah, like somebody who's not trying to draw attention to themselves.
Now, did you notice, and apparently this is a difference between the movie and the graphic novel, but did you notice the name, his fake name, while at the airport?
He had a lot of them that were...
I wrote every single one of them down. Did you catch the common thread with them all?
They're all like sitcom...
They're all sitcom characters.
Yeah.
The first one, Felix Unger.
Yes.
Of course, from Odd Couple fame.
Yeah.
Which also, he does use Oscar Madison. Felix and Oscar. He uses Archibald Bunker, Archie Bunker from All in the Family.
I think that's the one I caught, and I realized, I'm like, oh, wait. And then I kind of went back and looked, and I was like, oh, yeah, there's a theme going here.
Howard Cunningham, Happy Days.
Okay.
George Jefferson, that's obvious.
Yeah.
Sam Malone, Cheers. Lou Grant from The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Okay.
Reuben Kincaid, I believe, is Partridge Family.
That one I don't know.
And then, damn it, I can't read my handwriting. But he uses others. But yeah, they're all sitcom characters, which means at some point in time, this guy either does or has watched a lot of TV, a lot of 70s and 80s TV specifically.
He's got the TV Land app.
This dude loves TV Land.
And I like that these characters are well known, but they're so far back that people now are just like, oh, okay, hi, Mr. Malone, how are you? You know, nobody puts it together.
Although I do think when he uses, I think it was George Jefferson, you could tell the stewardess or whoever he was talking to, like, recognized, like, but I think she thought it was like funny coincidence recognized, like, not like this is an alias, who are you?
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Right.
But he goes home to the Dominican Republic.
This scene of him getting in the Jeep and driving to his house, it seemed to me it took forever.
Yeah.
And I get...
Probably because he lives forever away.
And I get that they're kind of trying to show that he lives pretty far away and deep into the woods or whatever, but it's like, okay, come on, let's get to your house.
Would you say it was boring?
No.
Would you say you were bored?
I wasn't bored.
Liar!
It was very beautifully shot.
Yeah.
So it was pretty to look at, but I was like, okay, let's get going a little bit.
Yeah, but that's David Fincher doesn't get going for nobody.
No. But I love David Fincher, so I don't even care. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, we've heard that about you and David Fincher.
And the Foz. Don't forget the Foz.
Stop calling him the Foz. You say that, I'm going to call up Den Washington and be like, what up, Den?
Can't wait to see you in Gladiator 2.
Okay. So my next note here. So he realizes something is wrong with his house. It's not how he left it. Little details are out of sorts. He parks the car out by the gate, kind of hops his own fence, gets a gun that's hidden on the property, and he goes in ready for trouble. Now,
and you just see the aftermath of it.
Now, radio's blaring. He's looking around trying to find whoever's in his home, but he turns the music off. Why would he do that? On one hand, I get that you would hear someone or hear someone coming, but if you have managed to sneak in like he was trying to do, if he was successful, then he gave himself away for no reason. Because whoever turned the music on is now going to go, hey, that music's off. Or if the music was already on when whoever was going for him showed up, they're going to go, huh, now that music's off. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I get that.
he gives himself away. I don't know why.
Maybe that's showing his human nature coming out because he knows his wife is the one he's looking for. And he's really not thinking in that moment.
Could be.
He's just frantically like, I need to find my wife. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. David Fincher, when you pull out a Tevis, let me know what's up with this.
Oh, God.
And David Fincher takes his time.
He's methodical.
Yeah, but is he generous?
I don't know. I'll tell you when it's over.
Detail oriented for
Yes.
sure. But he does find, and at first you don't know if it is wife, girlfriend, maid.
Yeah, who? I mean, it doesn't show anything. It's just the aftermath, and there's broken shit and blood.
And blood.
Yeah.
But he eventually finds, who I do believe is a significant other in the hospital.
Right. Yeah, it's his wife.
She had been attacked by other hitmen.
2 other ones.
2 other ones. And her brother tells him all this stuff about, they were looking for you, not her, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, just tell me what happened. He's like, I don't know, but she does. And so he kind of waits around. She does wake up. And they talk, and she's like, you'd be so proud I didn't tell him anything. And you could just tell he didn't give a shit about that.
No, he only thing he cares about is that she's okay and who did it.
And also, am I crazy to think that if they knew where he lived and they tortured his wife, what more is there to tell? I feel like that's all pertinent details they know and have, right?
Yeah, unless, they were trying to get the information of where he went.
Like
where his, he may have a hideout somewhere or whatever. But yeah, they already know where he lives. I'm like, I don't know what more you need. Just stake it out. Stake out for 5 days.
All right.
Hitman.
Quit being bad at your job.
You brute. You Q-tip.
The brute and the Q-tip.
Yes.
Well, he decides, okay, time to go back to work. And I think the narration, Michael Fassbender is even like, I blame them for forcing me to bring work home. Because first, he tracks down the taxi cab company.
Yes.
That they used to find his house. And that guy doesn't die, but he does take that guy hostage and tie him up and go through the records to figure out which cab driver took them to his house and then made it look like a robbery.
Yeah, the cab driver didn't make it.
No, so he then finds the specific cab driver.
Yeah.
And then pulls a gun and gives him directions to some, secluded location. And the cab driver, what was his name?
Oh, that I don't remember.
It's like Louis or
Leo.
Yeah,
Leo.
That was close.
Yeah.
And Leo tells him everything he knows, calls him a brute and a Q-tip. And then he kills Leo because he's like, Leo is to blame. Like, you see him because he says Leo is to blame for what happened at my house. He is creating a job in his mind. He's creating justifications in his mind to do what he knows he has to do.
By killing Leo, he's breaking one of his rules. Don't fight a fight that you're not paid to fight.
Right, but that's why he's creating the justification. Yeah. It's as though he has been paid to fight it, and he's creating that justification. Leo is one of the loose ends that needs to go. So that's when he learns about it was 2 professional hitmen driven by Leo to his house. So that makes him take a little trip to his old college professor, who is also, I guess, like his handler?
Hodges.
Hodges.
Yeah.
who, like, he's a handler, the go-between. Like, if you're familiar with the Hitman games, right? He would be like the woman in Agent 47's ear giving like mission details. Like,
Right. Yes.
like when Michael Fassbender's on the phone, Hodges is who he's talking to about the job. And
Exactly.
he disguises himself as like a waste disposal
Yeah, sanitary worker.
And gets into a multi-locked office, takes the secretary hostage, ties her up in the bathroom. And then Hodges is like, you idiot. What are you? Take a minute to think. And now all of Hodges' notes on his little network of assassins he's got is on a laptop. There's no cloud data. There's no backups. Everything is on a laptop that he nail guns to the desk. And I wrote here when Hodges goes, well, that's just juvenile. He took all the data and just nail gunned it to his desk. Well, that's just juvenile.
That made me chuckle a little bit.
It did. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. There's a couple moments here that made me chuckle.
There was some dark levity.
Yes.
Then, Hodges says up and down, it's just business, nothing's personal. He hasn't done anything he can't walk away from yet, think it through, blah, 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 blah,
Trying to save his ass.
Boilerprint at this point, And then Michael Fassbender, the killer, puts 3 nails with the nail gun into his chest. He's like, okay, late middle-aged man, reasonable health. He'll drown in 3 or 4 minutes. That gives me time to get. Oh, he's dead. He just dies almost.
That
instantly.
was the other part. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, right.
He had this all planned out, and then
apparently he's bad at math.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're okay. You're dying. Please don't.
There are multiple times where he's like, all right, this is the plan, and this is how the math works, and this is the way it's going to go. And then it just immediately doesn't go the way he has it planned at all. So he talks to the secretary, and she says, please don't kill me, blah, blah, blah. I know where the information you're looking for is. So he kidnaps her, basically, and she goes along for the very long ride with him as he preps the disposal of Hodges' body.
He puts the body in that big giant trash can.
He's disguised as a sanitation worker, and he goes in with a huge, like 55-gallon trash can, empty trash can. He bought it like a Home Depot or Ace
same
Hardware.
place he got the nail gun.
Yeah,
but he gets on the elevator to leave,
and the guy's like, "Need help with that body?"
And the secretary just kind of laughs nervously.
Yeah,
like really bad. Like, oh my god, how did he know? Yeah, that made me chuckle too.
Or like, you have no idea how right you are, dude. Like,
yeah, that
and
was
even
funny.
the guy's like, all right, weirdos. So ultimately, though, she leads him to Hodges' home. And she's like, look, I know what you're going to do. Please don't. But no matter what, I can't just disappear. My children will need my life insurance. I cannot just disappear. And he's ignoring her because he's very distant, calculating, and he's a professional hitman. But he does find the information he needs on Q-Tip and Brute. And then he breaks her neck. He snaps her neck and pushes her down the stairs. So it looks like she broke her neck while falling down the stairs. And hey, there we go. They will find her eventually.
Yes.
Someone will.
That part kind of took me by surprise. Not even going to lie.
It did too, just the suddenness of all of a sudden his hands come up and break her neck.
And then it's just blah, 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 all the way down the stairs. Like, holy shit. Okay.
Well, she has to have injuries related to falling down the stairs. And the best way to do that is to just let the body fall down the stairs, right? It's fine. But I was like, okay, maybe he'll let her go. There's no way he lets her go. And then he didn't.
Yeah, no, I wasn't anticipating him letting her go, but I was anticipating him making her disappear, kind of like Hodges.
Right.
But
he didn't.
No. So he's a little empathetic.
Is he though? Or was covering her death that way always part of the plan? Anticipate, don't improvise.
I don't know.
That's the thing. It seems like given her line about the life insurance, maybe it was a small tinge of empathy, but at the same time, we don't know. It could have very easily been, all right, how do I hide this body? Well, I already have to actually dispose of one corpse. If I can just make another look like an accident, that's less work I have to do.
That's a good point.
So I cannot sit here and say it was any kind of empathy.
I feel like it was
sure.
empathy. I feel like it was empathy.
Yeah, but
I feel like he's slowly gaining his humanity back throughout this movie.
While assassinating people?
Well, it's a revenge movie, so he's taking revenge on people hurting his wife.
Yeah, but he also kills a number of people who had nothing to do with the hurting of his wife, like the secretary or Leo, the cab driver.
But you just said in his mind, he's justifying
it.
So,
but yeah, that doesn't make it accurate. It makes it personally justified for the killer.
Exactly. So he's justifying it in his own head. That's all you need.
I guess that's true, but I don't think he's gaining empathy. I don't think he's regaining his humanity. I really don't. So he takes a flight to Florida. Is it Jacksonville?
St. Petersburg? St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg?
Yeah, St. Petersburg.
And to find the brute. I love the line about maybe there should be a week waiting list on creatine as it's this big roided muscle-bound freak.
Yeah, he identifies him by his limp.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie, this whole scene was fantastic.
So he follows the guy. So the brute is going out with some buddies and they go to a casino. He follows him there, kind of gets an idea of who he is, what he looks like, what to prep for, goes back to the house, learns about his attack dog, all this stuff, goes to the store. He does a lot of shopping.
He does a lot of shopping, yes.
But again, he's like, all right. He buys a bunch of sleep medicine, Z-Quil and, a bunch of other shit. Really simple over-the-counter sleep aids.
Yes.
That might not necessarily draw anyone's attention. And he drugs a bunch of hamburger meat, and he's going to put the dog out. But he's even like, all right, average pit bulls between, 45 and 55 pounds. But that one did look bigger.
He's trying to math again.
He's trying to math, and he's just not very good at it, right? Because he does drug the dog, and the dog does not go to sleep. It gets tired, and it lays down. Is not out.
No, not for as long as he needs it to be.
No. So he sneaks in. Brute comes home. Dog is drugged. The killer sneaks in, and he hears the shower going. He's like, all right, anticipate, don't improvise. He's got his gun, ready to do the deed. And then the brute catches him from the side, and we get an assassin fight! Shwa, 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 shwa!
This was probably, this has got to be one of the best fights I've ever seen.
This is an awesome fight scene.
Yes. I love that while he's sneaking in to this guy's house, you kind of get the layout of the home.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they're fighting, it goes back through the layout of the home.
They brawl through the entire house.
Yeah. So we never lose where we're at in the house.
Yeah.
But man, this thing was so fast and brutal and quiet because they don't want to wake up the neighbors.
Yeah.
So they're fighting really quiet. There's not a lot of, screaming and hollering, and it's just punches and slamming into walls. And in the back to the behind the scenes, I almost said Back to the Future. We're
not talking about Back to the Future.
Not yet, damn it.
This was not filmed on the same lot as Back to the Future and Gremlins. I checked.
Yes.
I went, wait a minute, haven't I seen that movie theater explode a few times?
In the behind the scenes featurette that I watched, on portions of the floor, they replaced with mats that looked like the wood so that they could slam them down really hard on it.
Yeah. So they could just go full
bore,
full on. Yeah.
Oh man, it was so cool. It was so cool.
I like that.
Yeah, I like how dark it was.
Oh yeah, because all the lights are off and it's night.
Yeah, but it was dark. But again, I was never lost as to what was happening.
it was dark, but it wasn't so dark you couldn't see what was happening. Black Panther. I'm sorry. Two characters clad in pitch black armor fighting in a pitch black subway tunnel does not make for a good fight scene.
No.
You also have two actors who have shown they can do a sweet choreographed fight. Are we going to let them do that? No, we're going to just do the CGI garbage that looks like crap. But we can't see it looks like crap because we can't see anything.
It looks like a PS3 fight in some stupid superhero video game. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Black Panther.
But this was, and I love too that it was dark, but you could still see what was going on. And the camera was at the right distance. It wasn't too close to where all you see is arms flailing.
And it wasn't choppy.
And it wasn't choppy, and it wasn't cut to hell.
Western filmmakers are finally getting better at filming fight scenes. They are finally taking notes about how the East does, China, Japan.
Yeah.
And they're finally taking notes on how to properly film a fight scene.
Yeah, and like I said, this is one of the best ones I've seen ever.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, if we're being fair, right? The camera was properly distanced. It wasn't cut to hell or choppy or edited, The camera cut as they brawled into a different room kind of a thing, but it was still steady shots far enough back. We could see the actors' movements. We could see the fight scene. Lethal Weapon. Where these movies are just cut to ribbons and then glued together and you have no idea what's going on. I bet that Riggs versus Joshua fight was really cool. I wish I could have seen it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, the one that come to mind for me was Lethal Weapon 3, where they're fighting on the armored car, Riggs and the bad guy.
Whoever.
Man, you cannot see anything.
It's shit.
It's so close and just cut. It's like they just cut film up and it threw on the floor and then they picked it all up and just glued it together. Like, there we go. There's our fight scene.
Got it.
Yeah. And this fight scene too had levity as well. I like that they threw a little bit of that in too.
But again, I think that's from Western filmmakers finally taking notice and taking notes and learning how the East does it. Like, we can't talk about fight scenes or stunts or whatever without talking about Jackie Chan.
Absolutely.
Because he genuinely is the best. I feel like so many people talk about Jackie Chan that it's almost cliche.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Mm-mm.
Jackie Chan has been incorporating levity into fight scenes, but not just that, and not just Jackie Chan, obviously, but he's one of the best. Of the fight scene in of itself is a story. The fight scene that is going on has the same kind of beats and tells the same kind of story that a dramatic dialogue between these two characters would tell. When you follow it out, it's like, okay, they do this and they do this, and then the villain gets the upper hand, or then maybe a bit of levity, and then the hope is the hero fights back, and you know what I mean? The fight tells a story by itself to keep it entertaining. It's not just mindless action or over-the-top violence. And I feel like this one does that too.
Very much so.
Now, when the killer kicks the brute and he falls backwards on the broken table leg and gets that huge wooden spear right up his ass, I just went, ah!
Yeah, I felt that too. I thought Michael Fassbender was behind me.
Stop saying Fassbender! God!
Sorry, I thought Fozzie was right behind me.
Waka! Stop saying Fozzie. You're going to get sued.
No, the part that really made me laugh was when the brute picks up the gun, starts firing, and the Foz has to jump into the kitchen. So he reaches into the cupboard.
Oh, yeah, he's going to pull out like a steak knife, and it gets what? Like a
cheese grater?
A cheese grater.
But did you hear the sound? When he pulled it out, it was like shing.
Yeah.
And then he looks at it, he's like, oh, son of a bitch.
He's ready for like this big steak knife, and it's just like shing. And the just disappointment on his face when it's a cheese grater.
Yeah. Again, the behind the scenes thing I watched, I guess this kitchen was fully functioned. Like, David Fincher wanted everything to be in the drawers. So it was FASSSSbender. It was his.
Faz.
I only do it because I know it irritates you.
Faz.
So FASSSSbender was like, hey, wouldn't it make sense if I'm behind this? Wouldn't it make sense for me to dig through the cupboard and look for something? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And so he did, and that's what he pulled out was the cheese grater.
That was improvised.
That was improvised.
It was,
and it was by accident that he pulled that out. It was not anticipated.
I feel like everything I've been told is a lie.
So I guess Fincher was like, oh my God, we have to do that. He's like, so take out everything out of all the drawers except cheese graters. Leave cheese graters in there. That's it. So that's all he would grab.
Cheese graters.
So he would always pull out a cheese grater. And I thought that was super funny.
I love those stories.
I do too.
I
do too.
Big fan of that. But when it's all said and done, he does finally put a couple of bullets into the brute. And you remember that dog he put to sleep? Yeah, not so much. And here comes
here he comes.
Here comes the dog, and it chases him down. And he's like, oh shit. And he jumps the fence, and the dog's like right on him.
I love that he takes out the brute without having some witty quip or even just not even saying anything. He just shoots him.
Nothing.
Shoots him twice through the door, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then I think he gives him one for good measure. I don't remember.
Maybe, possibly. But you know what's funny? He says nothing. No quips. No explanations. He just is there to do a job. The brute dies while quipping.
Yes.
The brute is about to monologue like a villain.
Yeah.
And then just eats it.
Yeah, because he's in the middle of saying something, and all of a sudden the two bullets come through the door, and he's like,
"Oh, you're the Dominican Republican."
Yeah.
You know, "Oh, well, you're lucky I stopped you. I would have taken that bitch." Bam, bam. That was, and then he just goes down.
I love that. It was
doesn't say a word, then burns the house down for good measure.
Yeah, throws it with a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, burn it down to hide the fact that there was a fight.
Yeah.
It's not going to hide the 3 bullets in that dude's chest.
Yeah. Yeah. But by the time they, get through cleaning up the mess, and he's going to be long gone.
Very Hans Gruber of him.
Yes.
They're going to spend 3 months digging through the rubble, and by the time they figure out that anything bad happened, we'll be on a beach collecting 20%.
Yes.
So I don't remember where he goes to after he leaves Florida. I do not remember.
This is when he goes to confront the Q-tip.
Right, but I don't remember where she is.
New York.
New York.
Yes.
And he comments, he's like, she lives in like just a regular like subdivision. Like she has neighbors and shit.
Yeah, it's almost like she was just
living her life, like a normal person.
Like a CEO or not really a CEO, I guess. That was a stupid comment. But I
mean, it wasn't that stupid until you really decided to point it out and be like, I'm an idiot.
By the way,
did you hear how stupid I was?
No, it's almost like she's, has a husband and wife, and she's a school teacher or whatever, and just lives her life.
Keep digging.
She doesn't kill herself.
I'm loving. Yeah, you're right. She doesn't kill herself.
Technically, she did.
No, technically she didn't.
Well, when she attacked his wife, she signed her death papers.
Yeah, but if you recall, she didn't attack his wife.
Oh, that's right. It was just the brute,
So
wasn't it?
she goes to her favorite restaurant. He shows up, takes the gun from her purse, and sits down at the table with her and has it pointed under the table at her. And she basically has this, what I would call a monologue. It's supposed to be a dialogue, but he doesn't talk.
He doesn't even blink.
He just stares her down. Although I do love, she's like, now that we sit here in this moment and my life is, I'm thinking about my life and all the decisions I made, I really wish I had Haagen-Dazs after every meal. I was like, as someone who loves ice cream, I just really relate to that. Except I do have ice cream after every meal, which is why I'm fat.
There's nothing wrong with ice cream after every meal. I can't tie my shoes, but, it's fine.
Breakfast ice cream is my favorite ice cream. I just, boom. So, bowl, 2 scoops of vanilla, an egg,
Biscuits and gravy.
Little biscuits and gravy, chocolate syrup drizzled
And
over all of it.
Sprinkled with
And
sausage.
And then sprinkled.
Oh,
And then sprinkled with sprinkles. I call it the breakfast ice cream.
God. 2 bites, heart attack.
I think I'm having a heart attack just picturing it in my mind. Is that... Coming to a Dairy Queen near you, breakfast ice cream.
God, don't say that too loud. Sonic will introduce that. They got the peanut butter burger. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, it's the hamburger. I think it has bacon, but then it has peanut butter spread on the bun.
That sounds awful.
Part of me wants to try it just
No!
to say I've tried it.
We're fat, but we don't need to be that fat. Remember when KFC did the double down and then like 6 people died? Because you cannot have an entire like double burger with the top and bottom buns being entire cooked chicken. Like that's not chicken breast, double burger, chicken breast. Like that's no.
Did they cover it with chocolate syrup too?
No, that was the breakfast double down that never got officially launched. They were planning on it. Sprinkles, chocolate syrup, boom, breakfast. So
Have that with a Red Bull? Hell yeah.
everyone knows I only drink Red Bull in my coffee. I don't use water, I use Red Bull.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I had some buddies in college tell me they would do that because they were so addicted to caffeine. Like that's how they would do their coffee. And I'm going, how are you alive?
Yeah, did their heart burst out of their chest like the alien?
They're like, I can hear colors. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Christ.
Anywho,
I'm very aware of my hair growing.
I am so aware of everything around me. Not even the killer would have been able to sneak up on him. They would have been in that apartment going, is someone doing finger push-ups? You over there 3 blocks away. I can hear you. I can hear your heartbeat.
Oh my God.
Like a superpower.
Jesus.
So Tilda, Q-Tip, is talking about her life and doing this job and how she always knew this moment would come. And so she's like, you know what? We don't need to order any dinner. Let's just, was it 6 whiskey? Was it? What did she order?
I can't remember exactly, but it was basically her last supper of whiskey.
Of whiskey.
Yeah.
But it's like 6 shots of whiskey. Not shot, but they're full glasses that she shoots down, but it's 6 glasses of whiskey.
Like a sample.
Yeah, like a sample platter.
Sample platter.
That's, yeah.
Sample platter of whiskey.
A sampler.
Yes. Sampler.
Sampler platter.
Whiskey sampler.
Whiskey sampler platter.
I like that.
Platter?
Platter. I can't talk.
Whiskey? Help! Help! So she's like, wow, not even gonna imbibe, huh? Okay. And she just drinks because she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna die. Bam, bam, bam. And they're like, would you like to see a dessert menu? And she's like, no, not tonight. And they go to leave. And she slips on a stair. Her heel breaks. And she's half falling, and she's like, she reaches her hand out, help a girl out. And he's like, trust no one. Shoots her in the head. Then when she hits the bottom on the landing, you see that in her other hand, she had a knife.
That's right. She did, didn't she?
Yeah, it was she had pretended to slip, and when he was going to help her, she was going to knife him. Trust no one. And then before he went into the restaurant, they did that whole scene. He narrates how when a woman is found murdered, police always suspect a boyfriend or husband.
Right.
So he's playing on that almost as his cover. This homebody hermit-esque woman who gets out, but she's got a close-knit circle. Maybe she had a boyfriend, but we got to try to find him because it's probably him because they saw her eating dinner at the restaurant with this man. You know what I mean? He's playing on the idea that everyone's going to assume he's a significant other, even though they're not connected whatsoever.
Yeah, and the only thing I could think of that's going to be his downfall is obviously there's going to be cameras in that restaurant.
Yeah.
So they're going to get a face.
But do they have anything to match it to?
I don't know.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they can all right, we have a face. I'll put it in the computer because every human face that has ever been born is generated. It's like, that's not how that works.
Not yet.
Not yet. Goddamn Minority Report.
Yeah.
Oh, that robot's going to kill us.
Oh yeah. The Minority Report.
Yeah, robot? The like sniper bot or whatever the shit.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about the same movie?
I don't know. Minority Report.
Will Smith?
No, Tom Holland. Oh, and Tom Holland's like, yeah, fuck people. We're going to fuck them up before they do crimes because they're definitely going to do crimes.
And Tom Cruise.
And then they're like, fuck you, Tom Holland. You're going to do a crime. He's like, I'm not doing a crime. Look at my high school boyish looks.
It was Tom Arnold. That's right. It was
Tom Arnold. They were like, we know you have that tattoo of Roseanne on your stomach, motherfucker.
It's lower.
Right?
It's just the R.
But was there not like they would arrest, but wasn't there also some kind of automated like, oh, take them out? I don't know. It's been a long time since
I don't remember.
Minority Report.
I'm thinking of iRobot.
No one wants to think of iRobot. Yeah. What is it? Are you thinking about iRobot?
I am thinking about iRobot.
Why? We're talking about The Killer and Minority Report a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, so he kills Q-Tip.
Kills Q-Tip.
Now he goes to
home. He fucks off.
No. He hunts down.
Oh, that's right.
The client.
He hunts down the billionaire client who hired them. I say them because Hodges.
Yes.
Who put out the original contract that went awry, that started all this. He sneaks into the guy's penthouse, shows up with a gun while the guy's on the phone, and the guy's like, yeah, I have to go. No, Michael, shut the fuck up. I'm hanging up the phone now. And he hangs up. He's like, I don't know who you are, what you want, And they talk briefly. And this is one of the few times he talks. He talks to Hodges. He talks to this guy.
That's it.
He talks to Leo.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
And so he tells him, but he's like, do we have a problem? I don't even know who you are. No, we don't have a problem. He's like, and he hands him the contract card, basically.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, fuck. So he explains how none of that was his idea. It was all Hodges, da-da-da. And he's like, if I have to come back here, I don't know how it will happen yet. You don't know how it will happen. Maybe a radioactive isotope on a drinking glass and you die very slowly as your face rots off. Maybe you take a misstep getting into an elevator shaft. Not an elevator shaft. He's like, if I have to come back, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, we have no problem whatsoever. He's like, we're done. We have nothing got nothing.
Yeah, and this is when he goes back home.
Now, I do want to point out, though, so they go through this whole thing. He's confident this loose end is done. Because now you might ask, because I did it first, why didn't he just kill the guy? He fucking killed everybody else. Why not just kill this guy? He comments as he's entering the hotel, the penthouse, whatever, that the richer a person is, the harder the police look for the killer.
Oh, I agree with that, yeah.
And this is a billionaire. So he knows if he has to kill him, he will. But if he can not rack up this specific body to not draw that much heat into an investigation, right? That's ideal.
Yeah.
But I like how he's going to leave, and then he stops, and he turns back around. He's like, wait a minute. A guy you don't know shows up in your house with a silenced pistol, and you have no idea what he might be there for? Seriously? It's one of those moments of levity that I really appreciated. Like, you don't even have the slightest idea why a guy with a silenced gun is in your house.
And this is where he breaks another rule. He trusts that this guy will not say anything.
Yeah, but I'm with him. I think he knows
I agree. I think he does too, because like he said, I broke into your home. I have a silenced pistol. You have no idea who I am and
Or why I'm here.
Like what? So yeah, no, I agree, and I honestly think the guy had no clue. I think Hodges was just like, no, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
End of story.
And he even talked about how before the contract that went awry, the guy talked about how like he had never done anything like this before. This whole world and everything about it is new to him.
Yes.
He tried something once. Not only did it not work, the target's still alive, but now the guy who's supposed to be killed for screwing up is in his house with a gun ready to kill him. He's not gonna...
No, he's done with that whole side.
He's gonna go, you know what? Not gonna mess with that ever again. Corporate espionage is what I'm sticking to.
Yeah.
Not dealing with trained killers anymore.
Yeah, he's sticking to what he knows.
And let's be real. If the killer has to show back up.
Yeah, and how terrifying would that be? Like, do I take a drink of this glass of water that I put down and went into the other room? And
no.
Like, no.
No, you just leave.
Yeah.
So you leave. And he's a billionaire. It's nothing to him.
Mm.
You leave. You just get a new home with all new shit. Screw all of that. Get all new shit in an all new place and never look back.
Right.
Because if the killer is true to his word, which he has no reason not to be, because if he was going to kill him, he would have just done it.
Right.
No reason not to be. You just never look back and move on. Now, you might say, well, if you're not going to look back and if he was going to kill you, he would have done it. You don't have to move. That is true. But I personally would be too paranoid to put my shoes on. I would, for my own sanity, I would have to just leave and go someplace completely different, new, all new stuff, right?
Yeah, I'd be paranoid. I'd pull a Roger Murtaugh and sit on the toilet and there's a bomb.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie. After that movie, I'm a little paranoid of that anyway. I'm always just like, is there something under here?
Just roll the toilet paper down. It'll say boom.
No, usually it's just snakes.
Oh, God. No. I think it was one of the Porky's movies.
Gross.
Yes. But I remember watching one of them when I was younger.
Yeah.
And they were pulling a prank on, and I don't know the name of the teacher, but it was the female gym teacher, or
sure,
I don't remember. But
wait, did they put a bomb on her toilet?
No, they put a snake in the drain so that when she was on the toilet, it would come up underneath her. Oh my God, I was so terrified to take a shit for the longest time. It was like Jaws, don't go in the water.
Don't go on your toilet.
Don't go in the toilet.
Just Tevis digging holes in the backyard.
My mom was so pissed at me when I was a kid because I'd shit in the corner of the bathtub. What are you doing? I'm like, Mom, I saw this movie and there was a snake in the toilet. I'm not going to sit on that.
I have to do this, Mom. Mom! Actually, that's very similar to a conversation I had when she learned about the podcast. Mom, I have to do this! Mom! So, with everyone dealt with, in one form or fashion, he goes home, his wife is recovered, they're sitting on a beach, having drinks, enjoying the sun, and we have a happy ending. As long as you're not one of the people that died. Or related to one of the people that died, or a friend of one of the people that died.
Yeah.
Something, people that died.
So yeah, he's like sitting there, he's with his wife, he's retiring, so to speak.
Quote. But even that, because he kind of mentions it, Q-Tip mentions it, people like them never retire. Even though they could. Hodges talks about it.
Yeah, because he had, how much money did he have?
He's like, you have more than enough money to live the rest of your life however you want. Yeah. Your kids, if you ever have any or do have any, will never have to work. You have the money. You could just disappear right now and be done with it. But Q-Tip mentions how people like them, they never do it because there's a thrill. There's a thrill to it. There's a satisfaction to the job, both the thrill of, I think, the moment, but also a satisfaction from the puzzle that each contract
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, he could, but he's not going to retire. People, they're never going to retire.
Well, he's sitting there and then he's, contemplating that he's going to be retired, and then his eye starts to twitch, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like he's finally can sit down and completely relax, and then his eye twitches. Like he might be like one of these people like in Peaky Blinders, which you still need to watch, by the way.
I do need to watch
Fantastic. To everyone who's watched Peaky Blinders, Cillian Murphy's character, Thomas Shelby, shell shock and PTSD and all this other shit, wrong with him. And we learn throughout watching the show, throughout the different seasons, it seems like he's always on. He's always scheming. He's always planning. He's always thinking. He's always working on something. And he's always working towards something. And we realize, because that's the only way he can be in a calm state. Because if he relaxes, that's when the war comes back. The only way to repress the troubles he has is to stay busy. So he's always doing something.
Yeah, his mind's always occupied.
Exactly. And it's always work related. It's always benefit related. So we see Michael Fassbender's character, the killer, sitting down and relaxing, and his eye twitches. And I wonder, not necessarily that he's PTSD or shell shocked or anything like that, but like he's one of these people who has to work 24/7, who has to be productively occupied mentally, or they're going to freak out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I could see he would be that type.
Yeah.
His wife is probably going to wind up murdered. He probably end up murdering her just to get the thrill. I don't think.
I disagree with that.
I'm just
I do think she'll probably end up dead.
Yes.
And he'll never retire. He will die one way or another, on the job or from the job.
Yes.
But all right. Anything else? Any notes you have that we didn't touch on? I think we've got all mine.
No, I got all mine.
All right. Do you want to give us some final thoughts on the Netflix original, The Killer?
Like I said, my history with Netflix movies has not been the best. They're usually kind of boring, even the heavier action ones, like The Gray Man. I don't know if you've ever seen The Gray Man.
No.
There's a whole lot of action, but it's just boring because I never cared for the character.
I bet I could count on two hands the number of Netflix original movies I've watched, if that many.
Yeah, and I could also... This is the only one that I actually enjoyed. And honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with David Fincher.
Mm-hmm.
I love David Fincher's movie. Alien 3, I know gets a lot of flack from everybody.
Now that's the one. Wait a minute. That's the one with Ron Perlman.
No!
And the midget.
No!
The thing.
No,
and the wheelchair. And
Prison Planet.
Right, that's what they're all.
No, they're not.
Wait a minute.
That's the one with the clone you're talking about of
Right.
Ripley. No, that's oh god, no, that's Resurrection.
So where are they with Ron Perlman?
In a shitty movie.
Well, no, duh. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I
what
don't
is
know.
the setting of that shitty movie?
I have no idea.
Is it not a Prison Planet?
No, it's not a Prison Planet.
Because Ron Perlman only does movies where he's in prison or some kind of prison related.
That's true. But no, that's not. No.
And Hellboy.
Alien 3 is the one on the Prison Planet where she crash lands, Newt dies off screen, and so does Michael Biehn's character.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's replaced by Ron Perlman.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Fuck. No.
And she has that like weird like scene where she's like kissing and rubbing foreheads with that weird xenomorph human hybrid because it's like her child or some such.
No, that's Alien Resurrection.
Right, which is the third one.
No, that's the fourth one.
Wait. What are we talking about?
I'm giving my final thoughts on The Killer.
You're talking about Alien.
Yes, I was saying, Michael, fuck off.
Yes, Michael, fuck off.
David Fincher. His movies. I love his movies. Alien 3, 7 was really outstanding.
I love 7.
The Game.
I know.
Michael Douglas.
It sounds familiar, but I don't.
It's really cool. He did Fight Club, which, it's okay. I like Fight Club. I don't really go for all the hype on it, but it's an enjoyable watch.
I feel like it's probably gotten overhyped at this point, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. My favorite one of his is Zodiac.
Haven't seen that
Oh,
one.
man, it's so good. Anyway, but he does a great job of keeping your eye focused on the screen with beautiful visuals. And man, Michael Fassbender.
Fuck off.
Michael fuck off.
And he won't be doing the show now. Let's add him to the list of celebrities who definitely won't be on the show now. Thank you, Tevis. We've got Mel Gibson. We've got Michael Fassbender. We've got Denzel Washington.
That's your fault.
We have Russell Crowe.
I've never seen a Michael Fassbender.
Stop saying Michael. His name is Michael Fuck Off.
I've never seen a movie that he is in that he did a terrible job.
Oh, no, he always kills it.
Everything.
Even in Prometheus.
Even in Prometheus.
And Alien Covenant.
Those
movies suck.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Only good things about those movies are Michael Fassbender.
Absolutely. Is this movie my favorite David Fincher film? No. Will I watch it again? Probably not. But I enjoyed the watch that I did get to see it on. So I'm giving this it's worth it. It's worth the ticket price.
That's fair.
Honestly, just for that fight scene alone with the brute, it would be worth the ticket price.
That was a sweet.
The rest of the movie was very entertaining. I enjoyed it, but that fight scene was phenomenal.
It's sweet.
Yes.
Okay, final thoughts. Dad watched this movie.
What did he think? What's his final thoughts?
Well, he was like, "I'm really interested to hear what, or see what you think about this movie." I didn't care for it. I liked Michael Fassbender, but he said he just didn't. It wasn't what he thought it would be. He didn't care for it. I enjoy this movie. It's very methodical. It's very intentional, which I think are hallmarks of David Fincher movies. I love Michael Fassbender. I will watch anything with Michael Fassbender because he's fantastic in everything he does. Is this movie worth the ticket price? This is a Netflix movie, so I have a caveat. If you have Netflix, check it out. If you do not have Netflix, this movie by itself is not worth you getting Netflix to watch it.
Okay.
If you already have Netflix and you haven't checked out The Killer, give it a watch. See what you think. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe you'll think it's boring. Let us know in the Q&A what you think. But if you do not have Netflix, this movie by itself is not worth it to me for a Netflix subscription by itself.
Okay. I could see that, because if you're going into it thinking, oh, it's a movie about a hitman, you're going to be disappointed. I think because it's not the standard Hollywood hitman movie.
Yeah.
The flashy Jason Bournes and the massive success of James Bond or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but not even necessarily that. This movie does not warrant a Netflix subscription by itself.
Okay. But you see what I mean? Like you go into this movie thinking this is what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, this is not an action movie. It is a cerebral kind of thriller that has action in it.
Okay, I like that. It's almost kind of documentary-esque, like following the life of a hitman.
Yeah,
I could, if a hitman came out of the shadows and was like, you know what, I just finished watching The Killer, and that's exactly what we do. I'd be like, oh shit, okay, cool.
Well, unless you're the Iceman and you just roll up next to people in traffic, and you're like, "There's that motherfucker! Give me my crossbow because I haven't done this before."
Yeah, I read that book.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of I came up to this guy and he said he cut me off in traffic. So I got out of the car and I ripped his door off and beat the shit out of him. And it was almost that every other chapter. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of your bullshit. But
Yeah.
I would never tell him that.
Except you just did.
Yeah. He's in prison. He doesn't hear this.
No, I bet.
Maybe he's dead. Is he dead?
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
I don't know his real name.
Richard Klinsky?
Sure.
I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Anyway.
So, no. Well, we were talking about like what the movie's budget was versus its worldwide gross, but there's a caveat.
Yes.
So I feel like
That's fair.
for my final thoughts, same kind of thing. Caveat. If you have Netflix, check it out. If you don't, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think I'm good. So now we got to pull from the hat.
Yes. So, hat. Fuck's our hat.
So we're behind you.
God, why?
I always put it over there, so you're the one who has to draw from the hat. That way I can blame you if the movie sucks.
I'm distracted by Tennis McNugget over here. There's a pop figurine of McDonald's icon, Tennis McNugget. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Blame that one on the kid.
You blame everything on the
she
kid.
saw it. She's like, "Oh my god, this is so funny." I'm like, let's get it added to the collection."
All right. Looking. Here we go. Ow. What? There we go. Jake giggles for the bingo card.
Okay.
Well, this is definitely outside of our normal wheelhouse of movies.
Okay.
We'll be looking at the animated children's film, Captain Underpants.
What?
Yep. Captain Underpants.
Yeah, that's me on the weekends. I just run around here in my underpants.
Oh, like you just got out of hypersleep. Don't mind me, ladies. Just got out of hypersleep, know what I mean? Swing, swang, swing.
That's gonna be fun. I'm interested to watch that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. But all right, everyone, that has been this episode. That has been The Killer on Netflix. Over there getting A-framed is Tevis.
Eiffel Tower.
Oh, fancy. He's getting it done fancy. I'm Jake. We are Ticket Price. Tune in next week as we tackle Captain Underpants. And in the meantime, be careful out there. You look like you're going to say something.
I had something and then I immediately lost it.